no time for
All right,
club,
welcome
my
back.
dogs ain't
News Talk
saying
1380 WAOK, the voice of the community. Call in 404-892-2703. Get you involved in the conversation. We're still talking about data and the black vote coming up this Friday, February the 26th, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern. Dr. Washington, Dr. Sachs are still here with us. Dr. Washington, can you tell us more about the event on Friday and how people can register?
So the Atlanta University Data Science Initiative hosts a webinar. It's open to the public every second and fourth Friday. The second Friday at 12 noon focuses on research and teaching, and the fourth Friday focuses on community engagement. So this Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk about data and the black vote, anywhere from racial gerrymandering to deterrence and how do political campaigns use data. And so panels will include yourself, Robert Patillo, Executive Director of Rainbow Push Atlanta, and also, Robert Patillo, you are a Clark Atlanta University alum, class of '06. Dr. Karen Sachs, Director of Governmental Relations at the American Mathematical Society, and Dr. Ron Wasserstein, Executive Director of the American Statistical Association. So if people want to join in, they can, the information, our website is at datascience.aucenter.edu. That's datascience.aucenter.edu.
All right, and what do you think is the most important thing that people will take away from these events? Because we're hoping they don't just sign up for this one, but for them going forward. Because as we said, the most valuable resource in 2021 and going forward is data.
It is data, yeah. And so, like, before I came here to the University Center, I was a math professor at Howard University, and I was also a program director at the National Science Foundation. So while I was at the National Science Foundation, I was able to see proposals and what people were doing at a national scale in data science. And I really didn't see projects that dug into looking at racial disparities, racial injustices, in particular, those that impact Black America. So when I came down here to the AUC, which had, to Atlanta, the cradle of the civil rights movement, we are leveraging that to really make an impact in the field of data science, both on the research and how we train our students so that we can address these issues of bias that disproportionately impact Black America. So that we're grounded in social justice, but we're using data. Because as you said, Facebook uses our data, Amazon, Google, all of these entities use our data. And we want to ensure that we are empowering the Black community so that we have a voice and that we also have a say in how this data is being used, leveraged, and deployed.
Dr. Sachs, I read a quote recently, and it kind of struck me, where they said that 100,000 email addresses is worth more than $100,000 right now. Can you kind of talk about the value of data in the modern e-commerce society, modern e-commerce environment, and why it's become so predominant?
Sure. I think, that's a good question. And I think, so many people, the way they interact with each other and the world is through social media and through the emails they get and other things that come online. Well, now, especially with COVID, it seems like everything we do is online. And so to have access to people via their email and other modes is really, really what you want to do to access people and sort of get into their social media sphere, I would say, to understand what their social media sphere is and then to get in there.
And as a mathematician, how do you process these things? Like, how do you convert things from just being numbers to being policy that people can understand?
Yeah, that's a good question. So first of all, thanks for noting that I am a mathematician. So that means I'm not a data scientist. And a lot of people, don't. There's these different titles: mathematician, statistician, data scientist. We're all different. I don't really have too much of a background doing deep level statistics. Of course, I understand and better than some people, and have even, I hate to admit, taught some statistics. But in my work, so that's hard. Collecting data and then getting it into a form where you have good quality data sets is really, really hard work and important. And getting one of the struggles we're having now with the census, and you probably know that the census numbers that are coming out are all delayed. And one of the big problems is getting that good quality data. So the work that I do in DC and that Ron Wasserstein, if he were here, would say the American Statistical Association does more of it than we do, but we help is to try to get the data sets that come out of the Census Bureau to be good quality. So that means kind of exactly that addresses that process you're talking about, turning the numbers into usable data sets that are clean and make sense.
And Dr. Washington, for people who maybe aren't in the AUC, but who are interested in this, how can they find out more about this, get more information? If there's young people listening who want to be involved but maybe aren't students, how can they kind of key into what you guys are working on?
Well, right now, I came in August, and we're ambitious. We'll be rolling out summer programs engaging K through 12. Our webinar series seeks to engage the broader community so we can talk about these issues of data. People using data either in facial recognition for wrongful incarceration, to voter suppression, to other topics as well. But for right now, we have our webinar series is open to the public, and we also encourage people to engage and reach out with us, looking at different data science projects. If you have a data set that you think would be interesting that we could just sink our teeth into, that's always super fun. But hopefully soon we'll have more programming that will create various pathways into data science.
All right, and we have about a minute and a half left for each of you. I want to give you a chance to plug away. So any social media that you have, any websites that you want people to know about, any contact information for upcoming events that you have, I will give you guys the last couple minutes. So I'll go Dr. Sachs first, then Dr. Washington, just to kind of close out our segment. So Dr. Sachs.
Sure. Probably Talitha will have a little bit more on this, but the American Mathematical Society does have a website for government relations, and I write a blog there. And coming out this week, before our webinar on Friday, I will post a piece about the census and redistricting and how the data is used. And Talitha, I'll let you talk more.
Yeah, so the Atlanta University Data Science Initiative works across 4 HBCUs: Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse College, Morehouse School of Medicine, Spelman College, and we also work with the Atlanta University Center Woodruff Library. So we're looking to develop talent both in our students and our community, and really to find viable solutions to uplift Black America. Our website is AU Center, data science at aucenter.edu. You can also find us on Facebook. The extension is facebook.com/AUCDSI. If you Google my name, Talitha Washington, you'll find me, Talitha Washington. You will find me. Feel free to reach out. We would love to engage with you all as we need all eyes on this issue of data so that we really don't disenfranchise, but we use it to leverage power and uplift all communities.
I want to thank you both so much. I'm looking forward to the event on Friday. I want everybody to make sure you register for that and attend, because as we said, data is the most valuable thing right now. Companies are not out here mining for gold. They're mining for data. So you need to understand that, and you need to understand how that affects our electoral process and how that affects public policy. And we hope to articulate that coming up this week. Thank you both so much. Looks like an outstanding event. Everyone call in 404-892-2703, News and Talk 1380 WAOK.